Look, for whatever reason, a taxpayer may not have complied with his or her obligations. And of course, one of the most common questions you're asked as a tax advisor is, how will HMRC ever find out? I'm sure the viewer of this video will never ask such a thing, but we will try and answer that question in this video anyway. Firstly, HMRC might issue a taxpayer with a notice of inquiry. There are separate provisions dealing with the issue of inquiry notices depending on whether you are an individual, a partnership or a company. HMRC, when issuing or potentially issuing an inquiry, is subject to a strict time limit within which they need to send you the notice. For individuals and partnerships, this is generally 12 months from the date on which the tax return is delivered to HMRC. However, if you've delivered your own return late, then the window is 12 months from the end of the quarter date in which it is eventually delivered. So if you're late, then the window is extended. For companies, HMRC has 12 months from the date on which the tax return was delivered, or again, if delivered late, it's 12 months from the relevant quarter date. Beyond those inquiry windows, HMRC also has an opportunity to reopen a taxpayer's tax returns, and this can be done many years later under the rules for discovery assessments. If the taxpayer has submitted a tax return for the relevant tax year, HMRC will need to show that either further tax is due as a result of careless or deliberate conduct, or at the time the inquiry window closed, HMRC could not reasonably have expected that tax ought to have been assessed had not been. The careless or deliberate conduct mentioned could be either by the taxpayer or by an agent of the taxpayer. The usual time limit for HMRC to raise a discovery assessment is 4 years from the end of the year of assessment in question. However, that can be extended to 6 years where the tax deficiency is brought about by careless behaviour. The time limit may also be further extended to 20 years where the deficiencies are brought about either by deliberate conduct, which I guess is similar to fraud in old money, a failure by the taxpayer to notify chargeability to tax, or finally certain failures in respect of the DOTAS regime. Discovery assessments can be appealed on various grounds. However, you need to get in there quick because an appeal usually has to be made within 30 days. If you've received a notice of inquiry or a discovery assessment, then please do get in touch with us as soon as possible.